It is believed that the world was once on the brink of collapse, saved only by the forgotten creatures of the past. Once there were machines and devices deployed in droves to restore climate. Tarps that reflected sunlight, drones that sowed seeds, planes that made clouds and rain, solar-powered crafts that scanned and monitored, balloons that carried out experiments and collected data.
I am an architect and designer. I work at the intersection of science and fiction. I'm interested in exploring new narratives on how we can understand climate change and its consequences. I tell stories about the future worlds in order to think about ourselves in the present day. No Evil is a reflection of our attitudes towards geoengineering as a climate restoration approach, and by extension, our attitudes towards technologies, science, and climate change. It imagines a time so far into the future that all memories of how we survived the climate crisis have all but faded. A future where the machines and technologies have long since been decommissioned and over time immortalized and transformed into mythical creatures.
Wings flapping, they appeared to be sailing in the wind. They cast shadows so fast and for so long that they altered seasons. Eternally pregnant, they gave birth to the forests of the world, where they laid their eggs. Trees grew for hundreds of years. Barren lands turned into fertile grounds. Some say they still live. Hermits in the forests they gave birth to. So long as the sun shines, they will continue to fly. They are solo wanderers. They do not hunt. They only observe with their all-seeing eyes. After a long journey, they come back to tell us what they saw. We heed their warnings, and in return, they give us hope. Wherever they flew, they brought rain. From under their wings, out spun silky strands in the sky. Strands that make clouds, clouds that grow heavy. At the end of their lives, they returned home to the storm they have spawned. Once they go up, they do not come back. Forever asking questions, they learn and they prophesize. Sometimes they send messages back to us, guiding us from the cosmos. Other times, they take these secrets with them as they leave this world. What they have discovered, we will never know.
No Evil is a collection of the decayed data, artifacts, and stories told in this far future. It is a reflection of our relationship with technology and the collapsing climate. It is a cautionary tale of what future would not come to pass if we turn a blind eye and look away today. It is a hopeful belief of our own defiance and resilience.
They are creatures from the time before the climate was restored. Launched with hope and ambition, our last great chance to repair the world. For a time they filled the sky, desert, and ocean. They were ever present at the forefront of our mind. Until we no longer needed them, they could rest, once ignored, then forgotten, then fading into myth.
Where this project started was a reflection of our attitude towards geoengineering as a climate restoration approach. It also says something about our attitude towards science and technologies and, of course, climate change. Geoengineering technologies and systems are radical, uncertain, expensive, even controversial. Some cannot condone us meddling with nature to fix our planet when our meddling with nature is what broke it. As we're heading for the point of no return, it may no longer be enough just to pull the plug on fossil fuels or achieve net zero carbon emission. The project is a response to this skepticism in technology. With no evil, I wanted to look at the bright side and take us right out the other end, and just to imagine that it did work and we were all saved. And to imagine that in venerating these mythical creatures, we are in fact celebrating and memorializing our own global endeavor when all of us came together, united in a single vision.
The Tropostrato Tapestry. Depicting the last battle of Earth, the woven scroll tells the new creation story of the geoengineering systems that restored our planet as they penetrated the depth of the troposphere and reached the limit of the stratosphere. Now all that is left of this planetary endeavor is the ghostly apparitions in the corrupted data from an epoch ago. In this tapestry, the ones and zeros were woven into the wefts and warps, the mortal digital data knitted into the stories that live on forever.
As the climate collapses around us, we are observing the catastrophe unfolding at arm's length. This is when fictions and stories could be a powerful tool and transcend facts and figures and steep deep into our minds and cultures. In the same way that seeing the photograph of the whole Earth for the first time instilled a new understanding between us and Earth and boosted the environmental movement in the 70s. No Evil takes a positive view of the future as a response to our desensitized view of the impact of climate change. At the same time, it is not a utopian story either. As the Tropostrato Tapestry speaks of the defiant nature in us, No Evil simply suggests that we can survive this. I was fascinated by the unexpected outcome or consequence of technologies, glitches as we call them. We might weave these corrupted ones and zeros into tapestries. We might make shrines or statues, artifacts made for no other reasons or functions than to memorialize and pay tribute to them. The idea that data, meant to exist forever, actually decays and is fragile, that mortality suddenly gives them a mythical quality. Every culture has a creation story or mythical creatures.
A long time has passed since their last sightings. Some believe they are still out there, living in the forest, up in the clouds, buried in the sands, continuing to guard the world since its rebirth from the ashes. People build shrines for them, adorned with ornaments and offerings in vivacious hues and vibrant colors. They are the reason of our existence, the roots of our culture and heritage. Our children grow up to their stories. In the crumbled ruins of the last defense, what was once the technologies at the forefront of engineering are now sites of worship and memorial. The glitches from the corrupted data have become the fiber of new cultural curiosities. A new form of craft has risen from these future mythologies.
I take comfort in that future people may appreciate what good we may try to do. The future epoch in No Evil suggests a world that might not have borders or separation and differentiation of cultures. The shrines and stories drew reference from cultures and belief systems across the cultural landscape, when perhaps it shouldn't be surprising that they all have similar purpose and features. It doesn't imagine that there are multiple cultures coexisting, but that they began to influence and merge into one another, a pan-cultural world. It imagines that the only way this can happen is when climate justice can be established and upheld, when the whole world comes together.